What's up, you guys? Happy Sunday, and welcome back to the best, worst podcast ever, Brunch with DESB. I'm your girl, DESB, and I am trying to open my cherry slush right now. I got a little on the bed. Oh well. Maybe I should do something about it. I hope you guys are doing well. I've missed you. I'm going to be honest. Every time I come down to do my podcast, it's always kind of like, fuck, I have to record this. Like, I'm going to be honest. Okay. It's just so hard to find the time right now to record because Evie is quite literally attached to me 24/7. Okay. So it's like, I finally have a break from her. And instead of being able to get some work done or whatever, I have to do like this work, right? Which is like, come on here. So it's always like looming over me. Like, fuck, can I have extra hours in the day, and then I got to edit it and all this stuff, right? So we'll get to that in a second. But regardless, I never look forward to it. And then I get down here and I start talking and I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be. This is where I'm meant to yap. This and yap, quite literally, you know what I mean? Actually, I haven't had a cherry slush in months. Usually, I have been having a Hawaiian shaved ice. Okay, so I feel rusty. It's been a few weeks since you've seen me on. Why did I not have an episode last week? What? Oh, duh. I didn't have a voice. That's why. I was like, why did I miss last week? I didn't have a voice. And this past month has been really spotty because like my grandpa had passed. And then so I didn't have an episode. Then I had an episode. Then I didn't lose my voice, so I didn't have an episode. Now we're back. So we've oddly enough kind of been on like this bi-weekly cadence. And it's actually been kind of nice. To be honest, like I am able to get quite a few other things done. I mean, if you think about it in total, this podcast takes me about, call it an hour to record, call it 2 hours to edit, call it 30 minutes to get everything kind of like show notes, make the thumbnail, all these things, right? So call it like 3.5 hours that I kind of get back. And it doesn't sound like that much time in a week, but when you factor in the 3 kids' life, as well as just time I want to sit on my ass and not do anything, it adds up, So my struggle is real right now. I'll tell you that much. We're going to be talking today a little bit of postpartum update, life with 3 kids, where I've been, what's been going on, what's new, talking a little bit about like life, a little bit, news, stuff like that, just like chatting. But that's really what you're going to get out of this episode. So I'm going to be honest. If you're looking for something other than a friend chat, hang up, disconnect, because we are getting the most friend list of friendly here on this week's episode. It's just a friend chat. It's a catch up because I come down here with no rhyme or reason. And let's start first and foremost on my thoughts. So I'm thinking of going bi-weekly with my podcast. I actually am. I do not want to give this podcast up. It's so special to me. And I've thought, I'm like, do I do a couple month break? Like, do I rebrand or, get like new branding and like come back in January? Like, I don't know. I've thought about it, but I'm like, but would I come back? Because it would kind of feel freeing to like not talk that much. But then I love my podcast. I don't know. It's one of those odd things. And I've talked about this a couple of months ago, and this can relate to so many of you out there. It's really weird to struggle with what you thought would be and it not being. And what I mean by that is I'm sure there's something in your life where you thought, oh my gosh, it's gonna work out this way, or I can see it. It's gonna go like this, or whatever. And it ends up not happening. Right. And that's kind of what I thought about this podcast is when I started this back in 2020, I really wanted it to be huge. Like I wanted to be like, call her daddy status. Like I wanted it to blow up. I wanted everyone to hear it and laugh and enjoy and just find a friend in me. That was my big goal. And I think on a small scale with you guys who listen, I did exactly that. You guys know me probably better than anyone. If you just follow me on social media, you probably know quite a bit, right? But if you're a listener and you follow me and you keep up, like so much and you know me so deeply, right? And I love that for us. But it's been really hard to come to terms with how hard I've worked on this podcast for now guys, going on 5 years. April will be 5 years. And I've worked so hard, and I'll say it like this, I've gotten nowhere. This to me is the most authentic version of myself. This is where I have the most fun, right? Like this is I love this right here. But I don't have any like sponsors besides BetterHelp. I've had them since the beginning. Shout out to them. But it's just not a space of growth right now. And it's hard to spend time in places that aren't growing for me because it takes up my time, right? So like at what point, again, instead of this, can I focus on this? Or instead of this, I could even just have a couple of hours back of my time, stuff like that. So I've been really like internally struggling with kind of letting go of what my expectation was for this, and it's often, then you think, oh my gosh, well, but if I give up now, sometimes you're on the brink of success. And I'll be honest, like, I don't think I'm there. There's a lot of spinning plates right now in my life. And with the kids, oh my God, the third one has just added so much. And I think it's because also the boys have become in their own ways so much more independent. And then even though it's only been a couple of years, you feel like you're starting all over. And so it's just been tough. And Evie she's a great baby, but I'm still learning her. She's still learning herself. I mean, holy shit, she just came out of me like 4 months ago, So I've just been really, really struggling with that. And I guess if you're a long-term listener, if you're someone here, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it out loud. Like I genuinely, I need your affirmation. Like it's really hard for me to make choices like this by myself because I feel like I'm failing so many people. And even just the thousands of you that listen, I feel like I'm just giving up by going to like bi-weekly or this or that. But it's just been so hard. And this feels so heavy to have to come down and do and find the time to do. And it doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't feel fun, but I feel like I'm not able to be my best version of me because I don't have time to like make extra notes. I don't have time to plan out an episode. Not that it has to be perfect. That's what I love about my podcast. But sometimes I come down here with nothing in it. And again, it's like the time I would love to just like lay my head back and just be like, I can't. I don't know. I just need your guys' feedback right now. Like, honestly, I honestly putting words in your mouth. I need you guys to be like, Des, it's okay. Take time for you. Like genuinely, I don't know. It's just so hard. And I don't want this to be a podcast that I stop, I don't know. I have a lot of pride in it too. Maybe I'm just scared to like give it up. Knowing I can always come back, but I don't know. It's just, I'm in a weird spot right now. Like even just like the thought brunch with DESB. When I first created this podcast, it had so much of a different meaning than that. And, maybe I do. I take a pivot, I take a step back and I rebrand and I come back and it's different. I don't know. I think I'm just really struggling right now, postpartum wise, hormone wise, and then throw in my spiraling thoughts of stuff like this, right? So I'm just speaking out of my ass today. You guys know what you always get here. You don't know what you always get here, I guess is the point. You know what you don't know, you always get here. You don't know what you always get here. However we say that. So yeah, your girl, she's struggling. I did have a few notes. Let's see what I even wrote down. I always have at least a few like thinking points. So a few things I didn't get to talk about 2 weeks ago. First off, hard pivot. Like, sorry. Anyways, Liam Payne, Diddy update, Tell Me Lies finale, Activewear, gearing up for Black Friday, Hydro Jugs, and my jugs, postpartum jugs. So first off, Liam Payne, again, old news. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking on this because some of these were things I wanted to chat about last week, but I lost my voice. So Liam Payne lost his life now 2 weeks ago. There seems to have been a deal of drugs in his system upon the time of him falling from a balcony. And it's very sad. It's very unfortunate because I don't think, to call it a suicide, I believe is what they're kind of getting to. But also it seems like such an accident. It seems like such an accident there. And when I saw this story break, I thought a lot about unaliving, not necessarily like intrusively, but just the act of it. And I don't think, even in the darkest of days, I don't think anyone who unalives themselves in that second of making that decision, I don't think as you're passing away, I don't think you ever go, wow, that was a good choice. I think anyone who goes in that experience, I think you immediately regret it. I think when you do whatever it is that is done, upon performing that, finishing that, and you have, I believe, these times when your body may be gone, but I believe our mind still is going. Like, I think even scientifically, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like I've read something where like your brain continues to go, even, call it a minute, couple minutes post mortem, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to get too graphic. So I think in those moments when your brain is still braining, I think your immediate thoughts are regret, and so it just breaks my heart to think of him in this situation of, in this case, again, not to get graphic, but he's falling from this balcony. And I just can't help but think that the immediate soberness that comes over you in the quickest second of your life falling, but what feels like an hour, and just what your mind is going through at that time. It was very sad to hear. And I was never a total 1D girly. Like, I wasn't like a fangirl, but we all loved One Direction at some point, and I feel like that was like my age, that's what makes you beautiful, like whatever. So it's very sad. And to know he left behind a child and all those things. So strength to him, and strength to anyone else who has gone through the loss of a family member recently, to any regard, but also if you've experienced someone in your own family, unaliving or having that type of experience. I can't imagine the emotions that go with that. And yeah, so I send love there. Diddy update. So I did have an update, and then things have just kept updating. There was also, along with Diddy, a new allegation of Abercrombie and Fitch's old CEO performing in sex trafficking, sexual assault. And then I also saw something along the lines of, now this is a TikTok conspiracy, I saw it. Something, and I don't want to butcher it, something along the lines of Kim Kardashian working really hard to get the Menendez brothers out because Kim Kardashian's dad was associated with Jose Menendez, who was then associated with the deep, dark side of Hollywood, sex trafficking, sexual assault, sexual abuse, because he owned a big music record label, I believe, back in, that time. Could things really be all that interconnected? I don't know. I thought it was an interesting conspiracy to come a part of the case in general. And as of Friday, what would be last Friday, I believe there was a choice made by the judge of whether the Menendez brothers would get resentenced or like AKA released. So big parts of that case as well. If the ring of just the darkness goes so deep into something like Kim Kardashian in that way, I wouldn't put it past it. I mean, there's so much power in that family and the Kardashians. Nonetheless, there's so much deep shit in Hollywood that I don't think we could even begin to wrap our heads around. Every time a documentary comes out, whether it's like a kid actor makes a documentary or something of that sort, I feel like we're always like, oh my gosh, whatever. I can't believe it. I can. There's so much fucked up shit that happens with money. And I wish there was some form of study of how financial success like fucks up your brain, literally. Or are the people that reap that such financial success in most cases, is something psychologically fucked up with someone who reaches that amount of success? And I say that because I think of people like, for example, Elon Musk. He's kind of weird, right? Jeff Bezos. he's kind of fucking weird. Okay, you think of all these people that have gained such notoriety and fame and money. They're weird. There's something weird about most of them, right? There's only a few I feel like we could count on a hand, but nonetheless, I just think that money can change people so much and can do so much for you in Hollywood and in those like big rooms of executives. Like, I think you would be shocked at how much dark shit goes on. Not even dark shit with just like children, sexual abuse, sexual assault. I think just even what people with money think they can do in terms of like affairs, cheating, scandals, stuff like that, that can, you can pay off anyone. Like, I'm sorry, but you're telling me if someone told you right now, hey, something happened, I'll pay you off, call it $10 million. You're an average person. Like me and you. Right now, someone came up, they said, hey, I'll give you $10 million if you never speak of this. You're telling me in most cases, you're not taking that 10 M's and going, zip? Because I can tell you in most cases, I'd think about it. Now, it depends on the situation of what was going on, but money can get you a lot of things because money can change a lot of things for a lot of people, change lives, right? Like, so, I don't know. The point is there's just a lot of deep shit going on and it's scary. And then Abercrombie, I believe the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch lived in Ohio. And I believe even maybe did they run the same route as Epstein, because he had a big house in Ohio too. And that's where the headquarters of Abercrombie is. And Victoria's Secret. And they're all Victoria's Secret. That guy was fucking creepy too. So I don't know. I think it goes so deep. And all it does is, even though these people are like older, all it does is get passed on, right? Younger people start doing it in different ways. I don't know. So anyways, that was one piece of news I want to talk about. Brianna Chickenfry and Zach Bryan also broke up. I didn't really keep total tabs on their relationship, but it was sad because just like 7 days prior to them breaking up, I told Wyatt, I was like, dude, I think Brianna Chickenfry and Zach Bryan, maybe they'll get like married. And he was like, really? You think so? And I was like, I don't know. I'm shocked. They're like still dating. It seems kind of serious. Boom. Breakup. Boom. Zach Bryan has a new song out. It was kind of crazy, kind of dirty, not going to lie. So we'll see how that goes. Another piece of news, as of drinking my cherry slush, there is a winter flavor coming out. I've seen it. But also, speaking of energy, I saw on Hayden's story today that Coca-Cola bought most of Ghost Energy's, the stake in their company in Ghost Energy, for $900 million. $900 million. Mind you, Alani Nutrition is bigger than Ghost Nutrition, or like Ghost Energy. So I don't know if Katie, same thing, right? Katie and Hayden, Caden. What the fuck is going on with my brain right now? Maybe they're getting close to sell. I'd be curious if they had any proposition. I mean, I'm waiting for them to sell to like Coke or Pepsi. But also I could see them holding on to it a little bit longer and continuing to grow it because I think they are doing a great job. So I don't know. We'll see. But that was a huge, crazy thing too. $900 million. It's crazy because you think of the owner of Ghost Energy. You think they ever thought it'd get that big? Like you're just a person that starts out doing something. Like even Katie and Hayden, I remember when Alani was launched, right? They had a few couple protein powders. Katie took this cute photo with the tubs right in front of the KH brand gym. And it was like, welcome, Alani Nutrition. And like they had no clue what that would become, right? That it's so cool. People who just start out with a vision like that, they have no clue what it could become. I mean, even me, like on a small scale, right? I was just selling programs online and I get to do this for my job. Like I never knew that that's what would come, right? It's really cool. And I think that's such a testimony of just following your dreams, chasing the goodness of life, chasing the things that make you happy. And now I'm like, okay, do I really do my podcast bi-weekly? I don't know. Because that's how I feel about my podcast. This is my dream. It's what I love. But also, different seasons. You have to kind of respect that too. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. I talk about BetterHelp a lot, seeing as that it's benefited me in the past 2 years. Some people think, maybe, things have to get really bad until you can go to therapy. You're like, I'm not depressed. Why do I need therapy? But really, therapy is a tool to where you're using it before things were to get worse and to avoid being at your lowest low. I don't know about you, but why the fuck would you want to get to your lowest low before you climb out to the top again, right? BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video and even live chat sessions with your therapist. You don't have to see anyone on your camera. You don't have to wear pants. You don't even have to put on pajamas. You could be naked wherever you're at and do a therapy session with your therapist. So for me personally, I like to put my AirPods in. I'll walk around my desk room. I'll go for a walk outside when it's nice out, whatever it may be. And that's what works for me. It is customizable and it is more affordable than most in-person therapy. Give it a try. See why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. And girls, don't forget to get on betterhelp.com/DESB and put in that discount code. If you forget that, you do not get that 10% off your first month. And that is the deal with being a listener of Brunch with Desb. That was kind of a fun, exciting thing. Tell Me Lies finale is finally over. Again, this is old news. We've already talked about it. I recapped the whole thing on my Not Just Another Mom Instagram. And wow, was it messy. It was probably, to be honest, one of the most entertaining season finales that I've ever watched. I feel like it tied up a lot of loose ends. It made a lot of sense. There was a lot of drama. It was crazy. A lot of things just made sense. And they also left the storylines open. The biggest thing that people were wondering was who was calling Bree during the wedding. So someone was trying to call Bree. A lot of people thought it was Oliver. I even did it first. I was like, could it be Oliver? Could it be, other people thought it was Marianne. I was like, I don't think she would be calling, but go off. The director, I guess, shut down both of those theories. So what my friend said, and what I also then believe, is that it was either her foster mom or her biological mom, for the pure reason knowing she's marrying into money. All of a sudden, this family wants a piece. They want to reconnect. So very interesting. Also, part of me doesn't believe that Bree actually wants to marry Evan, but I think she only sees a way out of it. So we'll see. Speaking of movie news, we have a lot of really exciting things coming up. Moana 2. For starters, Wicked is coming out as well. Had a little bit of Wicked drama the past week as well. We have Sydney Sweeney coming out with 2 bangers. First, The Housemaid. You guys will be proud of me. I actually read a book this past week. Yeah, I know. I finally fucking did it, guys. The Housemaid is going to be adapted into a movie, as well as she is playing this woman wrestler. If you guys have Netflix, go watch it. It's called Dealing with the Devil. It's on Netflix. It's on the Untold series, and it's about this woman boxer. And I don't want to ruin the story for you. It's crazy. It's cool. I think if you watch the Netflix series based off of this girl, I think her name's Christy Martin, you'll be able to really, I think, enjoy the movie a little bit more when it comes out. But also, if you're looking for a surprise, you're just looking for a good movie based on a true story, wait for the movie. I'm assuming this won't be out till maybe next fall. They're shooting for it now. It's got to be probably a decent project. But I think anything not film related, not animated, I think can be produced faster. If I'm, tell me if I'm right or wrong. If anyone works in the film industry, I'd also be just so curious, what do you do? I think that'd be the coolest job. So anyways, a lot of good movies. Sydney Sweeney's lined up. Is anyone still waiting for Euphoria? Does anyone else want closure for that? Does anyone else want closure for that series? Because it is sad. We won't get Angus Cloud, rest in peace. But everyone's old. How the fuck are they going to age them back? AI? I don't know. They got to do some sort of editing, because we're supposed to be seeing these high schoolers. Girl, all these actors are in their 30s now. Okay, which is so crazy. So let's backtrack real quick to the Wicked drama. I just want to bring this up. So there, I guess, is like on Reddit, multiple threads, and people do this all the time. They create fan art. They draw it themselves. They make it on fucking graphic design, Illustrator, I don't know, whatever. So Cynthia, whatever her last name is, she's the one that plays, why am I blanking? Wicked. Glenda and, why do I want to say like Abdullah? Like, I know it's like Abdullah Oblagata. Like, what is going on? Alphaba. I don't know what my brain is doing today. Alphaba. Cynthia plays Alphaba. A fan art mimicked the poster using Cynthia and Ariana. And it covered Cynthia's, like, I guess, like her eyes, right? Like, it very much looked like the original Broadway poster. This art page, like, reposted it. Mind you, the person who posted it, it wasn't even her art. She just, like, posted it, like, reposted it. Cynthia took this poor girl's photo, reposted it on her Instagram story, her personal Instagram, and basically said, I'm paraphrasing, you can go look it up, like, how dare you make this? You are taking away from my heritage, maybe, like, you know, her blackness, and taking away that she is black and proud to be black playing this part, because they're, like, hiding her features. But, like, Ariana's still like this. Dude, let me tell you what. It was so fucking messy. I read a thread on Facebook. Someone reposted it. The amount of comments that were like, girl, what the fuck? Like, dude, what? For, like, literally what? Why? No. And I was listening to The Toast. It's my favorite podcast. And they brought up a great point about it. Something like, when you're this close to a release of a movie, of anyone, you should have PR running your socials. Like, this is not the time for you to be on your phone, reading what people are saying, etc. Like, just soak in the moment, let someone else run that shit. I agree with that. So I'm like, why is this girl saying shit? Oh my God, PR, come in. You need to get this taken down right away. Too many people saw it. So I don't think that was ever really addressed. They tried to ask Ariana about it, and she just, like, in a roundabout way, just, like, didn't answer. But it was definitely a PR crisis. Like, it was not a good look. It was so over dramatic. It was crazy. And I'm not the only one saying that. Like, the common consensus of what she took this as was way over dramatic. However, most people said they think, from what they understand, Cynthia, the actress, she is a theater girl. Haha, like, no wonder she's being dramatic. So I did think that part was funny, but it was messy. It was messy, and it was so irrelevant. Like, it was crazy. So she needs to just get off her phone, which don't we all? So anyways, that's kind of movie stuff. I guess, yeah, I covered Euphoria. I've been, knocking on Heaven's Gate for that. Handmaid's Tale, I believe, is expected to return. Dude, I just saw something about it. I think it was next fall or spring. So that part sucks. But also, honestly, like, if something like Handmaid's Tale came out right now around election time, that would be the scariest shit ever. It would feel too real. And I think right now where I'm at postpartum, and I don't know if any of you other postpartum or even just moms feel this way, I have to be very selective of what I bring into my thoughts. Nowadays, like, I can't do a lot of, like, really crazy horror or crime. I have to be very thoughtful of what I'm choosing to put on TV and what I'm choosing to, like, watch. So I'm watching things like Bad Monkey. I'll finish that. Watching things like Caillou, Stinky Dirty, Leo the Truck, Zaboomafoo, Umizoomi, Team Umizoomi. I have to be very low stimulus with what I'm choosing to do. So, last announcement I have. Oh my God, wait. I can't believe I forgot this one. Netflix announced yesterday that the Guts World Tour by Olivia Rodrigo will be coming to Netflix. It feels like a stab at me individually. Like, I feel like they did that to me, knowing I have to now relive the embarrassment of being a 28-year-old at the time at that concert. I went to it right before I turned 29. Like, thank God. Because to say I was 29 at that concert would have felt worse. 28 years old at that concert. It was terrible. And I have to relive it now because it's coming live to Netflix. Will I watch it? Genuinely, yes, I will. I want to see if I can reconnect in a different way. But honestly, every time I look at advertisements of it or like little clips, Olivia just seems so immature. Like the way she yells, I don't know. And it's interesting because she's an actress. You know, she started on Disney and shit. And so it's confusing to me. You know, you look at her and then you look at Sabrina Carpenter. And I don't mean to pit women against each other, okay? But you look at them. Sabrina has such a natural performer to her. With Olivia, it feels so performative. It feels so pressured. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, maybe she's not leaning into herself yet. I don't know. She's still young. Like, obviously they both are, but I can't wait to hate myself again, is all I'm saying with that. I am just a shy week. Oh my God. Yeah. This Saturday, bitch, is my Eras tour. Probably my last Eras tour, which is kind of emotional. I feel like I'm going to connect a little bit deeper this time because I will never have another Eras tour. And at this point, like, the only thing we've kind of all been waiting on is Debut, Taylor's version, which I don't know if she's going to re-record at this point. We'll see. And Reputation, Taylor's version. We're waiting for those two things to drop. But other than that, the full Eras tour is pretty concrete. Like, we got all the eras. We have TTPD thrown in there too. So, like, I think I'm going to get a whole experience to just, like, be done with, you know? But this bitch has been on tour for, like, 2 years. Almost, like, crazy. She needs to take a fucking break, okay? So, I'm excited, though. I have a cute outfit. I think. I don't know. I'm still feeling like, blah, but I'm excited to go for the vibes. And part of me, like, I was even like, can I dress up? Like, oh my God, I don't know why I'm feeling so insecure. And I've said this for like multiple podcasts. I feel so insecure right now. I think not just in my body, like postpartum wise, but then it makes me then spiral because I am postpartum right now, 29, almost 30. Like, life just feels like it really changed for me with this baby. And it's all at once. I feel like it's just all a big conundrum of like thoughts. So Eras tour, we'll see what I end up wearing. I do have a backup of just like a cute pair of like jeans with like a crop t-shirt. Honestly, I'm like, maybe at some point I just do fun makeup, bunch of friendship bracelets and like glitter. And I just wear a crop and like jeans and I look cute. You know, like, I don't know. We'll see where we get. But TBD, TTPDD, TBD. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Speaking of the spiral, let me update you on one last thing before we do a little postpartum update where I'll continue to talk about myself because that's what you get here. This podcast is my podcast. I am so excited. I am not partnering with Stitch Fix or The Daily Look, but I'm excited because I have these two subscriptions right now. The Daily Look, I believe, is $40. Stitch Fix is $20. Okay, that's like their base styling fee. So what that means is that every time they send you a box, no matter what, you're paying $20 or $40. Not bad, right? I thought it was much more expensive than that. From there, you can then set a limit of like clothing that you want them to send to you. So for example, like I think on tops, I put like from $25 to $100, depending on it, right? Some cardigans get expensive, stuff like that, right? Jeans, I think I put anywhere from $50 to $100. And you can do shoes, accessories, all these things. You kind of make your own budget. So when they send it to you, they give you these, I think 5 to 6 pieces of clothing, whatever it might be, mixture of shoes, accessories, maybe, whatever your stylist picks out. And you fill out this big questionnaire. They send it to you. Then they send you the breakdown of pricing of each. So, you know, your shirt might have been $20, jeans are $20, shoes are $50, right? So you can buy them all, or you can send them all back and you don't get charged anything except for that one styling fee, right? So no matter what, the styling fee. what I thought I'm going to do, I have 6 months until I turn 30. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get one box every month for now. I'm doing both of them because I want to see which one I like better, which one gives me like better clothes. They have great name brands. And I'm going to do 6 months of these boxes to really try to find my style before I turn 30. And also find my style in this new like postpartum period of my life. I'm at a point where I genuinely like, I don't just want to wear like crop tops all the time, right? Like I'm tired of shopping. This sounds so embarrassing. I'm tired of shopping at like Forever 21, right? I'm tired of shopping at like PacSun. Okay. Like I'm getting older. That doesn't mean I need to age myself, but I want to find stuff that I just feel really confident in. And I don't feel confident shopping in front of Gen Z. Okay. So I got my first box. I really loved it. I got this really cool pair of shoes, cute pair of pants, this really cute sweater, and then I got another shirt and another top. I sent the 2 tops back, bought, quote unquote, right? Bought the jeans, bought the top, bought the shoes. And guess what? They both fit perfectly. They all fit perfectly because they know all my measurements and stuff. So it's really cool. You don't have to like sit there and wonder like, oh my God, is this going to fit? Like it's a box made for you. And I'm excited to just start rebuilding my wardrobe. Another thing that I really kind of hate about myself is that worst case scenario, I go to Amazon Fashion, which is fine. I'm a huge Amazon shopper. I want stuff that's going to be like staples in my closet, starting to kind of create this like capsule wardrobe, you know, like having a consistent pair of like pants like this, having shoes for this, stuff like that. So I made a few different orders from Stitch Fix and the Daily Look. And then I shopped at this small online boutique. I'll have to share it with you guys. Really cool. I'll have to show you guys my outfits. I think they're like kind of dope. Like they're kind of trendy, kind of cool, kind of fresh. And like, honestly, I think they look great. On the days I don't work out, today I'm working out, but on the days I don't work out, I'm really going to challenge myself to get ready and wear like real clothes. And that's why I want to start building my wardrobe, is because I'm like, okay, I want to wear like a real outfit on the days that I can. Because it's very hard, and I'm sure some of you guys, you work from home girlies, you get it. It's really hard to like wake up and want to be presentable, because you could just be in your pajamas all day if you wanted to. You could just wear your athletic clothes. And I love that. Obviously, I'm a huge athletic fiend, but like I want to just start pretending like I'm getting ready to go to the office, you know, and in this case, it's my office, you know, at my house, but I want to add that elevated part of my day, because I cannot explain to you how much getting ready every day has affected me. Like I started doing this probably in December when I started getting fat for pregnancy. I was like, I want to just get up and get ready every day. Like it sounds like a pain in the ass because you got to wash off all your makeup and all this stuff, but I want to get ready. In the days that I get ready, not only do I feel prettier, I feel like I'm able to show up more, but I feel more awake. And let me tell you, your girl needs to feel awake right now because she's sleepy, okay? But I love it. So I'm really excited. I'm going to take you guys along the journey. I recorded my first, quote, unboxing of my Stitch Fix. And I'm going to put it together. I want to kind of do like episodes. Like episode 1 of, I don't know, I was going to say something like a 29-year-old trying to find her style before 30 as a mom of 3. So something like that. I don't know. I want to do something cute. And then also be able to use the box to put these outfits together. And even if I don't buy them, I want to take pictures of them and have an inspiration of like, okay, this looked really good on me. I don't want to like spend the money on it, but like I'm going to reproduce this, and then maybe take that similar look and then go to Amazon and buy that piece for cheaper, you know, but still having an idea of like these outfits put together for me. It sounds so simple. Like I look at so many fashion bloggers and I'm like, man, you guys just know how to like put together outfits. Good for you. And I feel like I do sometimes, but not really anymore, because I don't like really keep up on the fashion. I don't really scroll. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's more of like it's a me problem. You know, I'm 100% at fault for this. Like it's me versus me in this moment, and I'm just really struggling. So finding my style before 30 commences this month. You know, as of last month, 'cause technically like October, I got my first, you know, box. So as of this month, you know, 6 months to my 30th. I did get a lot of feedback 2 weeks ago, for my 30th birthday. A lot of people told me to still do Hawaii. Guys, I looked up this hotel one at Halaby or something. I'm not going to lie, I did a pretty big suite because I was like, oh, fuck it. It's my 30. I want to see. Guys, I put together a 5-night suite because we're going to have to take the kids, right? $102,000. I'm not even lying. I'm not lying. It was like literally $20,000 a night. Might have been 17. $102,000 fucking dollars was the total. I was like, okay, not going to stay there. However, it really put in perspective of what my budget, I'm going to have to fucking figure out. Some people recommended a cruise. I'm not against that. But like genuinely, being at sea kind of scares me. I've done cruises before. I want to like cruises. But there is something that does instill a little bit of fear in me. Okay. And I don't know if I'm open to that. Hawaii is just so on my bucket list. And I think by this time, like, I think the kids would genuinely love it. And it would be special. The other part of me, though, is like, okay, maybe I just go to like Cabo, Cancun. We do like a Mexico thing. We get a crazy all-inclusive and probably spend half the money. The only thing that I was then thinking, this is why I was like, oh, Hawaii versus Cabo or, something like that, is like, I could go to Cabo whenever, quote unquote, right? Like it's pretty easy to get to, pretty cheap if you do it right. You don't often get the time to go to Hawaii. And that's why I wanted to use the excuse of my 30th to be like, we're fucking doing it. Let's go, and commit to it. I mean, shit, I even told Wyatt, I was like, should we just go to like Italy or something? Like, is that crazy to like say out loud? I wanted to just do something that we wouldn't do again for a while, right? We could go to Cancun, Cabo every year for spring break as a family if we really wanted to. Not that that's the plan. I'm just making a point. It's an easier destination to get to. And Hawaii's not. So I don't know. I'm so confused. I just want it to be so special. And no matter what, it will be special with my family. But like, I want to sit on my ass. I want to relax. And I just want to do nothing. And I feel like Hawaii has that energy, but so do a lot of untapped places, maybe somewhere like St. Martin, the Bahamas, something like that. We could also do too. I need to start diving into it though. A lot of you guys also recommended going to Costco travel. I'll be doing that too. I haven't yet, but we probably need to start preparing because it is November this week, guys. We have 1 month until Elf on the Shelf starts. Are you fuckers ready? Because I just recently went on Etsy and I bought a 25-day kit for Elf on the Shelf. I was like, listen, mama ain't got time to figure this out by myself. I'm going to take the high road. I'm going to support a small business on Etsy and I'm going to get a kit, which I'm so excited because the kids are going to fucking love it. Archie and Maddox both are in that perfect stage of understanding. We still have to write our letters to Santa, or should I say our letters to Jeff Bezos, because most of our toys will probably come from Amazon. And also, maybe not toys. Like, I don't know. Kids are so hard to shop for because I remember the excitement of toys and like unboxing all that stuff. But at what point do you like have too many toys? Last year, we actually wrapped a lot of the toys they already had. They literally didn't even know. They were like, oh my God, a car. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. The trick is, go in their toy rooms, go where their toys are, look for the stuff they haven't played with in a while. And it's kind of like an easy style of toy rotation is just boxing them up into Christmas gifts. And then they get to have the excitement of the unboxing. And then before you know it, they'll grow up and they'll be like, wow, we always had the biggest Christmas. How'd you guys do that? And you're like, yeah, we didn't buy any. It was actually just your toys that you didn't realize you had. So I'm going to start putting together some lists for kids and stuff. I'm going to put on my Amazon too, some of my favorite stuff. Our nanny who helps us, she is a speech language pathologist. So she is very, very educated. She is so smart. I'm like, girl, you really did the school, like she is so educated. And she often helps Wyatt and I with some really good toy ideas, craft ideas, like things like this. So I'm going to put together a little list with her help of some really good toys for you guys for Christmas and holidays just because it's very easy to like, just be like, oh, I'll just do this. Let's get stuff that maybe can help our kids developmentally a little bit more. And if we can do that, why not make that choice, you know? The last thing I will kind of end on is obviously postpartum, a little bit of an update there. And the big thing that I kind of touched on this week on my Instagram was where my body is right now. And it's so interesting to me because carrying a girl felt different, but also it was my third baby. Like, I think that, you know, 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is a lot. You know, like when you do that to your body once, it gotcha, right? 2 times, okay, I'll come back. That 3rd time, you really said, I'm sat, you know, and that's kind of how it has felt like this last postpartum. And as much as I've seen my body respond, inches lost, you know, like I've only lost about 5 pounds since the first week postpartum. Like, I stepped on the scale 7 days postpartum. I was 169. I stepped on the scale, so that's 1 week postpartum. I stepped on the scale about 8 weeks postpartum, 169. Hadn't lost a pound. Stepped on the scale, what would be 16 weeks postpartum. I was 164. And I'm going to give you guys this tidbit of information because I wouldn't share this publicly, or like, there's no reason to share it on my Instagram, but I looked at my data from last time, when I was about the same amount of postpartum removed. And I was about like 12 pounds lighter right now. Like, at the same postpartum I am with Evie, I was 12 pounds lighter with Archie. And in seeing that, it was dumb for me to even look because I'm in a different point in my life, you know, and I have to honor that. But I was really disheartened. I was disheartened because I take a lot of pride in what I look like because it's my job. You know, like, I do have that drive in me to get back to where I want to be because not only do I feel better there, but also I want to be a testimony of, you know, what I expect you guys to do, my clients, my challengers. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do it too, you know? And so I have this like energy of like really wanting to push myself, right? And so it's been really hard to see that. Now, part of me would argue, like, I feel like I'm holding on to a little bit more muscle than I did in my previous self. Like, when I look at my photos postpartum with Archie, at this time, I had already lost all of my glutes. I feel like my body is hanging on to more muscle, fat stores, etc. And usually it doesn't. So I don't know if it's just a slower pace this postpartum, or if my body's just responding a little bit different to my breastfeeding journey versus how it has in the past. I don't know. Everyone is so different. Every pregnancy is different. But with the boys, you know, my postpartums were pretty much very relative, very much the same. And so to have this experience, I'm kind of like, okay, this is weird because I thought I would just kind of fall into the same boat I have the last 2 times. It's not like a ton of time has gone in between those, you know, about 4 years. Big whoop, you know? So it's just been, I've just been struggling in that way. Now, putting on a pair of clothes, putting on an outfit, a crop top, a bra, a sports bra, and leggings, I still feel so confident. I feel so proud. Like, don't get me wrong. But we can kind of have space for 2 things at once of frustration, annoyance, I don't want to say worry, but just kind of like, why is my body doing this time? While also on the other end, having a lot of pride, a lot of I did this, you know. And for me, it's like, fuck yeah, dude, I've had 3 kids. That's a lot, you know. And there's plenty of people who have more, but you know, I'm healing, I'm healthy, and my kids are healthy, and everything else will fall into place, you know? So I try to allow myself to have these emotions, as we're all allowed to, but also be able to go, hey, you're still doing a great job. And I think if you're someone out there the same right now, take my words and apply them to you too. Your feelings are so valid. Anyone's feelings postpartum are so valid. Any feeling. There's so much going on. There's so much more going on than I think even we give ourselves grace for, right? When you think of everything that's gone on from carrying a full baby to now recovering from it in just the first couple of months, the first year, etc. It takes over 2 years for hormones to even go back to normal. Postpartum, 2 years, 2 full years. I'm not even there. You know, like, oh my God, I wasn't even there with Archie. I got pregnant again at 1.5 years. So give yourself the grace, but also like I understand that the drive that a lot of us have to feel our best. And for a lot of people, it's being able to also keep up with our kids, to be able to go up and down the stairs, not be winded, not have to sit down, not have body aches and pains. It's important to have movement in our day and stuff like that. You know, it is. It really is. The moment you stop moving, you start losing. And it's so true. And it happens even with our eldest generations that we see in our families. Everyone's healthy until they stop moving. Maybe they have a bad back. I'm talking like your old, like great-great-grandma or great-grandma or grandpa. They're old, their back hurts, so they start sitting more. Immediately, health starts to decline. Movement is medicine. It's so true. We see it over and over again. And that happens even at a young age. You know, staying moving is so important to have for our body and for posture and all of these things. So I know I'm doing my best right now, but I will say it's just been a different experience this time. I can't say I've really had like baby blues or anything of that sort as much. If anything, I just feel a lot of days I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm constantly pushed underwater and I kind of get like, you know, this big gulp of air and then I'm pushed back down. And I wouldn't by any means say, oh, I'm miserable. Oh, I'm struggling so bad. You know, there's so many beautiful things I can be appreciative for in my life. But it's hard to feel like you can't ever get ahead. And I think that's kind of where I feel. I feel like that's probably the best way to sum it up is I feel like I can't get ahead. I'm either behind or I'm just on track. I did what I needed to do. You know, it's hard for me to do more. And that's a frustrating feeling for me because I'm very used to always having things done. And even to the simplest part of like my pregnancy guide, you know, this was supposed to be done in July and it's taken me so much longer. Now, granted, it was a fucking huge project, but it was like I was supposed to do it earlier and that's not, it's not like me, you know, I don't know, but I've also given myself the permission to go, hey, it's not ready yet. And I want it to be perfect. But just stuff like that, I feel like I'm just constantly like, okay, we got to push it back another week because, you know, I still have to do this. And well, when am I going to be able to get there? You know, like when can I do that? It's just hard. It's just so fucking hard. And we all do it. I'm not speaking an experience that no one else has had, you know, but if you're going through it right now too, before we know it, these kids are going to be in school. They're going to be gone almost all day. And whether we're at work, whether we're at home, whatever dynamic you have, they're gone, you know? And that is so hard for me to wrap around because I know when that time comes, there's going to be a sense of peace and a sense of opportunity to dive into myself again. And for Wyatt and I to also like even reconnect daily in a way that like, it feels like right now we can't. And it's just like you're constantly going, one kid's this way, one kid's that way. Then you're kind of like saying hi in the middle and it's so real. And it's such a hard transition. Nonetheless, from like 1 to 2 kids, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. I mean, it's a lot. And unless you have nothing to do and you're just like, again, like a rich millionaire, it's hard. It's hard because you just, exactly that, you have a lot to do. But if you're a rich millionaire, you just get to sit there and enjoy the chaos, you know? So it's very difficult. But also that the time will come where we do get ourselves back. And you don't want to wish it away because, man, is that going to be the hardest day of my life. Like, girl, it gets me teared up thinking about it, like sending kids to school because the education system, when you're in it, you don't back out. You know, like I'll be so grateful for summers and fall break and winter break and all these things, but you know, they're in school all day, every day, you know, and someone else gets more time with your kid than you will. You know, like that's hard. That's really hard to me. So until then, I'm just embracing the season. But man, is it really hard? And it's really hard to balance the season with this, you know, with work and calls and clients and all these things. And it's the best problem to have. It's the best, right? Like it's the best kind of stress, but it's still like so much to do all the time, you know? So I'm just trying to find this new version of me right now, just trying to find time for her and allowing it to just be this season for a reason, you know? And I think when you can let go of the control and you can release those emotions and those expectations and be able to just go, you know what? This is where it's at right now. And tomorrow I'll wake up and navigate that. You know, I think the more you can do that, the more it's just that little bit easier to go through. So that's all I have for you guys today. It's been 56 minutes and I need to get back up for Evie. And I also I got a lot more stuff I got to do because that's how it goes around here. So will I see you next week? I don't know. Will I start seeing you bi-weekly? I don't know. I feel like I got to do a little bit of soul searching and talk it out and figure it out. But no matter what, I'm not going to give up. But will the upload cadence look different? You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to walk away from stuff like that. So we'll see. It's also just been a crazy couple of weeks. So maybe that has something to do with it. You know, ever since Grandpa died, it was just a lot at once, you know. We'll see. Hope you guys have a great Sunday. I hope this wasn't a negative podcast. I think we talked about a lot of fun stuff. But still, this is a place for me to kind of be raw and honest with you. And hopefully you can walk away being raw and honest with yourself. So happy Sunday. Love you no matter what. Stay shiny.